Are you getting ready to renovate or do some door swapping in your house, but you don't know what type of door style to choose and what type of door matches with your decor? If so, this video is for you. Hey people, my name is Natalie Lee and I am an interior designer and owner of Design Build Style here in Georgia. We do home renovations, decor, house building, anything you can think of. But anyway, today I wanted to hop in here and talk to you about door styles. So as you see here, they're gonna hate me here, is I pulled out one of each style of door that you typically have to select from if you're building, renovating, or just doing a swap or a refresh in your home. So what I'm gonna do is walk through each door style and tell you what I think about it and what kind of decor and personality that door has. Okay, first up, let's see and talk about the door that most of you are going to be familiar with. It's this dude right here. If you see right here, it's your typical door that you probably have in your house, or if you bought just a general new construction home, you're going to have gotten this kind of door style. So let me flip the camera around and we'll talk a little bit more. Okay, so here it is from a distance. I got to stand further back so you guys can actually see it. This is called a 6-panel door. Do you know why it's called a 6-panel door? What's funny is a lot of times people don't even know why certain things have their names, but it's called a 6-panel door because it has 6 panels. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are the 6 panels that give it its name. It's a very generic door. You know, it really got big in the marketplace starting in the 80s, heading into the 90s, and it really hasn't stopped since. There's been little different variations with how much beveling you might get on this detail part right here, but this is a very standard 6-panel door. Now, the reason it's so popular is because, again, it took over, it got adopted by builders, and it just really hasn't left, and it's the cheapest option. So if you see here, different sizes, all these panels start in the 60s, and they're hollow core, and that's something that we can talk about too. So hollow core is if you tap it, it sounds hollow. There's nothing on the inside. It's not solid wood. This is the most economical option, but I'd say if you're going to be doing something a little more custom and you have the budget, I would definitely say stay away from the 6-panel. So it's not a bad door, but it's just very generic. So if you want to add any flavor to your home, I'm going to suggest some of the other ones that I'm about to show you. So your 6 panels, the most basic, most economical, but the lowest on custom vibes. All right, next up is this one here. Any guesses on the name? If you're new to the door game, I just taught you something. So what is this one called? It's a 3-panel door because, again, it has the 3 panels. So let's talk about this one. Okay, so your 3-panel door. This one's actually a great option. It does level up the custom game. It lets it feel a little more unique than just the 6-panel one that everybody has. I like this one. It's not my favorite. I'll save my favorite until the very end. But as you see here, most of them will have this little bevel here, which is nice. I actually do suggest the bevel instead of the hard flat edge because that does catch more dust, which is a pain. I actually have the flat edge at my own home, and yeah, it's a pain to dust. But this one elevates the game. I'd say that this mixes well for a decor style. If you have some traditional pieces and maybe mixed with a little modern, it's not quite a farmhouse vibe, but it's not a super modern. This one would lean most traditional out of these custom options, if you want to call these custom options. So I'd say this is a good all-around door. It adds a little bit of personality, can be paired with a bunch of different colors of hardware and doorknob styles. So if you're going to level up your game, I'd say that this is a good option if you lean more traditional and not too modern. And the price here, as you see, I'll show you down here, these are not door specific, but this jumps up into the starting at the $96 versus the $60, and then it goes all the way up to about $150 here at Lowe's. There's different vendors with slightly different pricing, but that gives you a good idea. Okay, so we've talked about 6-panel doors, and then we did 3-panel doors, so guess what we're doing next? Obviously, 2-panel doors. And this has 2 different options, so let me flip the camera around and talk about them. Okay, so as you see, there's the 3-panel that we just discussed, and now we're looking at these 2-panel doors. There's 2 options here that they call this the 2-panel with the rounded edge at the top, and this one also has these lines, these vertical lines into the material on the front. It's sort of notched out if you see here, but otherwise they are the same. So I much prefer this door. This definitely leans if you were doing sort of a farmhouse vibe or a country look, that's great. Most of the stuff that I do or design wouldn't work for this. I'd say that this leans, again, more dated, gives me the same vibes as the 6-panel door. This is definitely more updated. You could do this with a super modern knob or a super traditional knob. So I'd say that this is very versatile and it's my favorite thus far. Okay, so we did 6, 3, 2, and now my favorite is 1. She is a classic and I love her. The single panel door was used way back in the day. You'll see it in a lot of historic homes. It's just simple and sleek. If you see, look at the difference right here between what everybody's doing or has been doing, you know, in new construction, the 6 panel versus the 1 panel. Oh, it's just so much better. So if you look here, again, it's super sleek. You don't have, you know, many details to it. It pairs really well, lets the door hardware be the star. So, you know, if you're gonna do anything, swap out a door, keep it simple. It really adds a custom look, and no matter how wide or narrow the door is, the single panel looks really good. Okay, now that we've talked through all the different door types that they have here at Lowe's, now this isn't totally an exhaustive list. There's totally different custom doors that you can find online or from different vendors. I'm just showing you what's readily available here at Lowe's. But the vibes are the same, so it should give you a good idea as to what is available and what you might be leaning towards. And then so many people are like, well, what do you have in your house? You know, I give advice, but then what am I doing at my own house? So let's go to my house and take a look. But first, now I gotta put all these doors away. Okay, so we are back at my house. Let's look at my doors. And here is the single panel door, my favorite, as I showed you. And if you see here, I talked to you about the bevel edge. This is a solid core door, so this one is solid wood versus the hollow ones that I was showing you. And this has the straight edge. A lot of the ones that we were looking at had a bevel there. I actually like the bevel. This just ended up being the ones that we ordered, but the bevel is easier to clean because if you look down at the bottom, it is harder to keep this little section right here cleaner. But as I said, it's a classic door, and I paired it with a beautiful glass knob. I just really wanted to elevate the space and make it feel more custom. So swapping out the doors was something that was a must when it was time for that for us. So here's a double set so you can sort of see how they look as a pair. Simple, clean, and classic. And as I mentioned, I have the single panel upstairs. Now I'm down here in a basement hallway. Sorry if it sounds a little echoey, but we have the 3 panel doors down in our basement. We paired it with some brick floors, so I wanted a bit more of a casual door. And again, as I had said, that this is sort of the vibe of it. This one has a sort of an aged nickel hardware to go along with it. And as I said, the stuff that I showed you in Lowe's is what's readily available and in stock. But I have yet another door in the same hallway. I have this cool door here. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panel door. We painted it red. It actually leads to our theater, and I paired that with yet another type of knob. You know, you can always mix and match. That's another fun thing. If you want another video on some of that sort of style choices, let me know. But we wanted this to be just a fun accent door since it leads to a fun space. So in our house, we have those 3 styles of doors. Hopefully this video was informational and helpful for you to see what's available and sort of think through what you might want to pick if you are renovating or doing a door swap. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and come back and see me soon.